How did a cabinet once owned by Coco Chanel end up at an auction in upstate New York? Before we get into that, did you know that Chanel had 32 lacquered screens in her house? 32. Anyway, so the cabinet is part of the auction from the estate of Carol Harris. Carol Harris is a farming legacy from California, and her house was top notch. The house itself is called River Ranch, and it was renovated and decorated by Sister Parrish and Brian McCarthy of Parrish Hadley. But Carol ended up finishing the project herself because she had such good taste and such a great eye, and it's stunning. But let's get into this cabinet that used to live at 31 Rue Cambon. So the cabinet itself is a Louis XIV Ormolu cabinet, but the show notes say that it is exoticism at its finest, aka this cabinet is extra as fuck. It combines a lot of natural elements like mother of pearl and tortoiseshell, but the really piece de resistance, the technique known as belle marqueterie, which, as I read, where you use brass inlay, animal horn, and pewter with contrasting woods like rosewood and ebony to create a rich and elaborate designs. AKA this shit was labor intensive and super expensive. No wonder it lived with Chanel. But how did it end up in New York? Well, the cabinet was given to Chanel by the second Duke of Westminster. And then it changed a couple of hands through auctions, private sales, until it ended up with Mrs. Harris. This is the cabinet in Mrs. Harris's house, and I die. This is why I love auctions. It's not only because you can find amazing furniture, but because you can find history. So if you have a cool $75,000 to start, you can bid on this cabinet once owned by Coco Chanel. I'm New York poor, so I won't be bidding, but I will be watching. But if you did have the money, what would be your max bid for this piece? And would you even buy this piece? And would you even care that it used to belong to Chanel? Let me know.